We back.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Oh, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to The Office and Football Therapy. Not the show, The Office. My office, Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Hope you're doing well. Yada, yada, yada. Welcome back to Chelsea news, of which there's lots at the moment. Sam Wallace on The Telegraph giving us more insight of Maresca, of course, today. He's expected to be announced by Chelsea. Additional insight there. Romano's talking about Osimhen. And they speak about Omari Hutchinson could be sold for a lot of money. That would prove to be a real quick money maker from Chelsea. Yes, so we're going to pop into it today. Obviously back in the office. I need to get something on the walls behind me at the bottom there. Because I was standing before and now I'm seated. And I don't mind it like this. I think it's kind of like cool, but I need to get my vibe entirely right. Like, I feel like maybe a bit more central, like that, maybe like that. I don't mind the angle, the wide angle lens, although it makes my room look like this. But yeah, it's nice to just like be back and chill and sitting, and the ambient blue lights and maybe a little bit less aperture. Really like that? Yeah, I like it, man. So yes, thank you for joining me. If you do want to support the content, super simples as usual. Just simply click like. If you want to subscribe, you're welcome. Talk, Jan. If you want to subscribe, you're welcome to. Hit the bell notifications icon. Should you choose to subscribe, that's what I would recommend. Alright, gang dem. Let's just hop straight into the Chelsea news, right? Let's just do that. Okay, so we'll end with the article from Sam Wallace of The Telegraph, but let's start here. Fabrizio Romano is saying, at the moment, Chelsea are not planning to go in for Victor Osimhen this summer as of now. Of course, he recently confirmed that we're not looking to do a swap deal with Romelu Lukaku, something that I speculated, because of course, Antonio Conte, Lukaku's daddy, as some of you reminded me in the comments, remember Thomas Tuchel said, look, there's your daddy, when they were watching, was it a Tottenham game, when he was managing Tottenham? And yeah, obviously Conte came on the screen and Tuchel was like, look, there's your daddy. Which is obviously very funny. Lukaku didn't find it funny though. He clearly lost his sense of humour at the time. So there's not a swap deal to be done. But not only that, Fabrizio, Big Romano, transfer guru man, has confirmed that there's not even general talks for Osimhen. And many of you will actually be relieved. Obviously he's an elite striker. Didn't have the best season. He's out for a month now. He'll cost a lot of money. Is he the solution to our problems? He could go to PSG and get loads of cash. I mean, we've got goal scorers. I mean, I'm not saying we won't buy another striker. We don't need another striker. In fact, that's what's being said. We need another striker. But I don't know, like, I wonder if we just don't need to buy Osimhen for loads of money. Let me know what you think down below. And before we talk about this big Enzo piece, let's move on to Football.London and talk about Omari. Bobby Vincent writes this: Ipswich Town are interested in signing Omari Hutchinson on a permanent deal this summer and are targeting a £20 million move for Chelsea winger. First of all, that is a lot of money for a promoted side to buy a teen. How old is he? He's 20. He's just recently turned 20. And obviously he was on loan there last season and saw them get promoted under Kieran McKenna. Kieran McKenna loves him. He did that thing about, when he was asked what he wants for his birthday up on stage, and he said Omari. I imagine this would make Omari Hutchinson, recently purchased Chelsea youngster, Ipswich Town's record signing. I mean, I'm guessing there. I'm not entirely sure. I know Ipswich have been up in the Prem before, but they've not been around for a while. So, of course, other clubs are looking at Omari Hutchinson. Stuttgart, who finished second in the Bundesliga last season, and of course are playing Champions League football into next season. With Hoeneß probably staying there as well, an exciting coach. I mean, that's an amazing loan opportunity for Omari Hutchinson. Feyenoord and Ajax as well. I know Ajax, they're fallen off a bit, but it's still Ajax. They're all looking at Omari Hutchinson. Look, man, I gotta praise the acquisition of Hutchinson, because obviously he came from Arsenal Academy. We convinced him to join Chelsea, and by the way, amazing move for him. You could say whether he said he wants to play for Chelsea or whatever, but whatever happens, this pathway has worked. Do you know what I mean? We gave him loan to Ipswich. That worked. It was perfect for him. Presumably we did some due diligence and we think this is going to be good for you, mate, because of this. So, like, amazing loan, amazing move for him so far. Of course, a lot of you Chelsea fans will be like, yeah, I dig it. I want Hutchinson. Like, you know, he's really talented. But he's not pure profit, of course, because he's the Arsenal Academy, not Chelsea Academy. But he'll be big profit, I think. How much did we sign Hutchinson for? It was like a few mil. Or was he a free transfer? I'm going to check now while I'm talking to you, because I think this is important that we know exactly the situation here. So Omari Hutchinson, let's look here. He is he's born in Redhill. I was born in Redhill. Same hospital. Well, it would have been the same hospital. Wow. We're both amazing at football. We're both born in the same place. Yes. So apparently his value now is marked at 7 million. Yes. So look, we got him for, okay, so we got him for 7 million, I believe. Okay, well, 7 million euros. So what's that, about 6 million pounds, 5 million pounds? So yes, it was a few million, like I speculated, but it will be a massive profit, 20 million. It will be like 75% profit, or 3 times as much as we paid for him, excuse me. Do you want to keep Omari Hutchinson? He scored 10 goals and got 6 assists in the Championship last season. You know, he wasn't a starter until the end. He had clutch moments. He scored great goals. He's got that great, like, is it front flip or back flip celebration? That's like fun, you know. He's just a young, talented player, and he's a Jamaican national team apparently. I don't know, man. How do you feel about Omari? I mean, it's great that we've got loads of interest in him. I think, like whether it's Stuttgart, Ajax, or you know, he's staying at Ipswich. I was personally thinking that another loan in Ipswich Town would be perfect. Obviously, Stuttgart would be massively alluring because it's like, oh, do you want to like be in a top 2, top 3 team in the league and play in the Champions League? Yes, please. I mean, you know, that would be really, really great for him. But, you know, again, like Ipswich, he's settled, he's playing well, he likes McKenna, and his Premier League football will be a starter probably because he was a starter at the end of last season. So it's, you know, staying with what you know, going into the Premier League, feeling comfortable. Yeah, like it's an amazing situation, really. So what do you do? Do you loan him or do you sell him? Many of you who are Omari Hutchinson's fans, including myself, I'm sort of speculating I'd like to see him stay. But what if Ipswich Town get relegated? You know, I'm not saying they're going to get embarrassed, but you could have a positive season and still finish like 18th. And, you know, a point or 2 off safety and have a respectful relegation. See you later. They're not going to pay 20 million for him then, are they? They're going to pay 20 million for him now they're in the Prem. So I wonder if it's an opportunity that Chelsea will look to take up. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments below on Omari Hutchinson potentially being sold for £20 million. And that's that bid as well. What if we come back and say you can have him for 25? He's going to be a bowler. Or a sell-on clause as well. Remember, if his ceiling is up here, up there somewhere, then you put on a sell-on clause for like, you could give him a massive sell-on clause for like 50% or something, where, you know, and a buyback clause as well. All the clauses. You can put in all the clauses. Remember that when you're thinking about whether we should sell him or not. Alright, Sam Wallace is the chief football writer at The Telegraph, and he's written about Enzo Maresca to Chelsea. Of course, the new gaffer. Let's see what he's saying. Chelsea have appointed Enzo Maresca on a 5-year contract plus an option of a further year, designed to give the club stability after a turbulent 2 years under the new regime, of course, which is led by US investors Bedad Eghbali and Todd Bowley. Maresca's 5-year contract, plus the option for a further year, is one of the longest sanctioned by the club for a manager. Chelsea hope it will avoid questions over renewals. Yeah. It's Ben Jacobs, I think, on the London is Blue podcast was talking about this, saying, look, Pochettino, when he was managing Chelsea, like, why would he care about an Andre Santos or an Omari Hutchinson and stuff? All these players, or, Esteval, Willian, or Kendry Paez, because they all turn up when his contract expires. So he's not going to have an investment in these players and thinking rebuilding for the future. He's going to rebuild for now. But when you give a manager a 5+1 year contract, he's going to start investing in his own project. I know it's hard when you're a Chelsea manager. You're going to think, well, I'm gone in 18 months, max. But in theory, they make it work. He's like, yeah, I'm investing in my own future project here. I will nurture a Esteval Willian or whoever, because it's within my interest. So there is that, Yes, so Chelsea will hope it will avoid questions over renewals, although given Clearlake Capital-led consortium's history of sacking managers, there will be no guarantee of longevity if the team do not get results. Indeed, and I do wonder, speaking of clauses earlier, I wonder if there's clauses in his contract, like, if we're really bad, we're allowed to sack you for not the full compensation fee. I wonder if there's something like that. Maresca's appointment has been agreed, and the lawyers are working towards a Friday announcement. That's today. The Italian returns from holiday at the weekend. Iqbali and Boli are both in agreement that Maresca is the outstanding candidate to follow Maurizio Pochettino. Of course, he left Chelsea by mutual consent. But Maresca is the fifth manager of the new post-Abramovich era, or regime, including Thomas Tuchel, who, of course, was the sanctioned Russian's final appointment. The thing is with Tuchel, I heard, what's his name, Simon Jordan on TalkSport, he kind of said it right, like, he says, really, this is their third appointment. Because Tuchel wasn't their man, Lampard and Salter were just step-ins, so their appointment was Potter, didn't work, rabbit in the headlights in his words, and then Pochettino, which didn't really work. I mean, he got some results, there was improvements, but they all learned that we're not going to work with each other. So it's their third appointment, really. This, sporting directors, the plan, the project 2030, this, that, and all that malarkey, do you know what I mean? This is their third appointment. So they have to get it right still, Yes, the club owners want to Boy, here's your headline, boys and girls. The club owners want to challenge for the Premier League, as well as domestic cups, of course, the Conference League as well. And this ain't okay, right? Well, let's dissect this, ladies and gentlemen. Scalpel, because it's not saying they want to one day win the Premier League. They're saying they want to challenge for the Premier League, the cups and the Conference League. Now, pump the brakes. We're not going to be in the Conference League every season, especially if we're challenging for the Premier League. So that's this season. They want to challenge for the Premier League. Oh, this season, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Pep hasn't even gone yet. We've got another 12 months of him. I mean, look. I dig the appointment of Maresca. I do. If you watch the content, I quite like the idea. For a few reasons. But, he's still a guy who's had one season in the Championship, and you're asking him to challenge for the Premier League. What are these man smoking? Anyway, okay, for which Chelsea have also qualified. This is the Conference League he's talking about. And the FIFA Club World Cup, of course, that's the end of next season. The 2020 Champions League Triumph Final qualified them. I think he means 2021. It's funny to get an error, such a big error like that, for the new extended format of the Club World Cup. Yeah, so the Club World Cup is the end of next season coming in the summer, and it brings loads of Ps, especially if you do well in it. And of course, there's loads of big clubs in it now, and it's actually potentially quite prestigious. So, yeah, man, interesting. Yes, of course, it's in June and July next year. Ultimately, the club want to be back at the staple of the in the Champions League, as they were under 2 decades of Abramovich, which is ownership. Yeah, because that's what they were buying in Chelsea, a Champions League club. Maresca, he's 44 years old. He'll bring at least 6 staff with him from Leicester. They include the former Chelsea goalkeeper and assistant Willy Caballero, coach Danny Walker, goalkeeper coach Michel de Bernardin, fitness coach Marcus Alvarez, and first-team analyst Javier Molina Caballero. Maresca will also bring assistant Roberto Vitiello to work on bringing young players from the academy into the first team. So that's good, because we want to... I was saying recently, Pochettino was meant to be like, oh, I'm Mr. Youth Coach. And yeah, it was good with the youngsters, Gusto, Gallagher. I mean, the whole team was young, so I'm saying he's good with young players. But he wasn't like bringing through academy players when he could have done, especially in moments of need, when actually we've got some excellent youngsters at the moment. So Leicester City, newly promoted under him, will now go, of course, about finding a replacement. We don't care about that, baby. It's all about Chelsea. All right, so how do we feel? Well, firstly, transfers are transfers. We'll pick that up as and when we go, so keep it locked for that. But, they are having like high hopes High hopes for a living, as the song once went, on Enzo Maresca if they want to challenge for the Premier League. What a headline. Look, am I expecting Chelsea to challenge for the Premier League? No, especially not with Thursday night football. What's it like? Thursday, Sunday football. It's just an absolute slog. And look, Maresca's used to playing a lot of games from the Championship, maybe not travelling around Europe. It'll be very interesting to see how that happens. But, you know, I mean, come on, bro. You work with Man City, on a treble-winning season, so you went right to the end, to the Champions League final in terms of being around that. You're going to have to navigate that on Thursdays and, you know, maybe further afield in terms of travelling in Europe for the clubs that are in the Conference League. But I don't know, like, why not dream big, eh? They think Chelsea have got an excellent squad. They will feel like we'll have depth when injuries come back. We'll add a couple of key additions. Romano's talking about a centre-back on Twitter or his YouTube channel. I saw it aggregated on X. In fact, Chelsea could be looking at bringing in 2 centre-backs. One really important one, which I guess is bringing in a starter, which I find quite interesting because I would be interested to see Fofana and Levi start, but maybe, of course, Fofana's not played regular football for a long time. Levi's still 20, I think. Maybe they want to bring in a really good centre-back. They can just start, play Enzo's football, and then all the youngsters around can sort of develop around him. And of course, with the European football, there'll be more opportunity for these young defenders to get game time. Yeah, man, so let me know what you think. Really interesting stuff. It's popping off all the time. I'll probably, if he is announced today, the new gaffer, I'll probably react to the interview and stuff. So do come back. Make sure the bell notification icon is on, so you get notified when I upload. And I'll see you very soon, my friend. Peace.